Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and we are back in Entropia universe. Finishing up the dailies that I did for my last video. I actually didn't finish them yesterday, so I'm recording this on Sunday. It'll come out Wednesday. But if you're wondering why it's going to take me a really long time to finish the armor, it's because, yeah, sometimes stuff happens, I get distracted, and I don't finish the dailies. Although, like I said on my last video, with this training program coming up, the need to watch training videos is going to make it so that me playing Entropia Universe strategically is going to be more of a thing. So, yeah, I got a couple things I want to talk about. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We're on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Okay, so apparently they're putting out a new type of share, and I want to see are they already listed. They are not listed yet. So let me see if I can't pull up a little more information on them. They've decided to do a new land trust. And so it's like 10 how. Hang on, let me see if I can, bulletin. Latest buzz. Triton Industry Shares. So wherever the Sand King is from, they're going to be giving or selling shares. And so it looks like, I mean, obviously Mindark is looking to raise more funds, right? Shares and land areas are wildly like the Arcadia Underground deeds. Deeds are wildly popular as a form of passive income. So obviously there's a strategy to this that Mindark. I'm sorry, Mindark. That Mindark has come up with for this. I don't know if they're looking... This is probably to finance, or to fund, I should say. Not finance, but to fund the UE5 migration. Because that's going to take a lot of money to do. I mean, let's be facing it. Development of a game is expensive to begin with. Plus, on top of all of that, they have to maintain servers. And all of the other things that go into maintaining the game. And, of course, the way that Mindark gets paid is through repair bills. I remember reading somewhere in their website that every PED in the game is cycled except what goes into repairs. That money's removed from the game completely. That's how they pay their developers. I mean, Mindark is a small team relative to a lot of development teams that we're familiar with. So at least their overhead is relatively low, but they still have to keep the servers going. And if they're trying to migrate from one type of system to another, one engine to another, they actually have to have, there's in all likelihood, they have to have a redundant set of servers to run the UE5 version as they develop and playtest it. Now, of course, they can gradually roll that out because they're not going to, have the entire game built all at once. I mean, Entropia Universe is huge, and I'm sure that they're working with Planet Partners as well to make sure everything goes out smoothly so that everything's migrated at the same time. Because it'd be kind of silly if Calypso was in UE5, we had to come back to the old system, which I think is a modified CryEngine, in order to play the other Planet Partners. And it would be janky as hell. So I'm sure that that's probably part of that math that they're doing. Like, okay, how can we raise money to do this, but provide, back to the people who are going to provide that money without completely screwing up the loot system or stealing from our players. And so historically, digital land area sales and stuff like that have done really well. People buy their apartments. They have land area deeds. I mean, shit, I'm sitting on, 101 of them? 102, yeah, I've got 102 underground deeds and 50 moon deeds on top of the shares I bought, which, how many shares do I have now? 432 Crystal Palace, and then 2 each of the Calypso Land Deed Trust in Ancient Greece. They were for the sake of getting them. Let's see. Do you have any other 10s? 11, 11, 20, and you're injured. Oh, hi. Guess you're next. So if I had to make a guess, that's what they're doing. Now, looking at the existing shares market in-game, it looks like there's... Crystal Palace Station has done the second best. It was the first one there, so of course it's doing well. They are all sold, and it's trading 3,680 shares are currently up for trade, which is a decent amount, but it's not enormous. But that's pretty well what you'd expect. That's what I would suspect is the relative number of, like, Arcadia Underground shares to the total amount that they've released. I don't remember how many of those they released. If anyone does know, please let me know, because I can't remember. But I have the feeling that that's the plan. You know, New Treasure Island, I think New Treasure Island actually sold out of their initial... Oh, no, that must be, yeah. Jesus. I'm getting all the big ones. Need some olds. Great. I'm getting inundated with them, but I'm not getting the ones I need. So, Ancient Greece is still struggling. I think they still have a bunch of them that have not been picked up yet. Yeah, 215,000 of them are still part of the initial offering. And they're trading below that initial offering amount. Not by much, but still, that's not a good sign. I'm going to have to get out and come back in. Okay. Fall back. I need to clear the field out so that I have... Because all I'm doing is I'm sinking. I mean, I'm in no danger of dying. But I'm here for a mission. And I'm not able to accomplish that mission. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. As far as I know, the only ones that have not sold completely out from the initial offering is Ancient Greece, which I'm surprised that Ancient Greece didn't do better, to be honest. I expected Ancient Greece to sell out about as fast as Crystal Palace. I was, of course, very incorrect about that. Is there an old anywhere on the field? Like, this is my one complaint about this mission. Oh, I already got all 8 of them. Well, that's silly of me. Well, let's extract ourselves. Bye, guys. Normally I run it, but screw it. We'll fly over to the Swamp Lurkers. I am surprised that Ancient Greece didn't do as well as it could have. I expected Ancient Greece to sell more slowly than Crystal Palace because it didn't have the... it wasn't as famous, but I did expect it to do better than it did, and it didn't. It's a shame. It just means that the Next Island team needs to do a... Maybe it's just because Next Island is a quiet planet. And I know Ancient Greece is doing better since Next Island dev team started really ramping up the content there. But I am surprised it didn't do better. And I will admit, if I had like the excess funds, like if I was a millionaire or something, I would consider dumping enough in to buy up what's left of Ancient Greece. And if you're like, well, why would you do that? It's because when you own that much of an interest in a company, your words have... your words mean something. If someone were to just buy up 215,000 shares of Ancient Greece, that's almost half of the original offering, because I think they did 500,000. Obviously, they're going to have some pull with the Next Island devs. Now, does that mean they're entitled to it? Not really, because it's not a share of the company. It's basically it's a revenue interest. But if you drop $215,000 on a company, is that company not? Do you think that company's not going to listen to you when it's a small, closely held company like Planet Partners are? Is to my knowledge, there is not I don't think any of the Planet Partners. I don't even think Minarch is publicly traded. I never hear of shareholder meetings or anything like that, and they're able to do what they do in the game without it being considered a security. So it would surprise me if that were the case. Now, I want to remind everyone of something. This is very important. Things you buy in this game are, in a very real sense, they act a lot like investments. They are not an investment. Keep in mind, at any time, Mindarch could shut off the servers and all of that money's gone. Now, as far as I know, the way they've agreed with Sweden is they are obligated to give you your balance back, but in their own agreement, they're only responsible for the TT value of your in-game property. The property of a deed is 0. So only put in what you can afford to lose permanently. Treat it like a video game. And I know there are plenty of people who have things in here where they're able to withdraw, but that's not always a guarantee. Okay, this is not financial advice. That being said, I don't foresee Mindarch going belly up. I don't. And if they were in financial trouble, I would hope they would be honest with the player base. Because we all have a very big vested interest in Entropia Universe continuing, right? We do. We've put a lot of time, energy, effort. Friendships are built here. Beyond acquaintances, like friendships are built here. Communities are built here. We have a huge vested interest in this continuing. So if Mindarch were to be in financial trouble, or one of the Planet Partners, my hope would be that they would be honest with their player base and be like, hey, we need help. And we're going to release all of these things for purchase to help us raise capital to make up for it. My hope would be that's what they would do. Because I love Entropia. I'm sure that all of you love Entropia, or else you wouldn't be watching a video like this. And I want to see Entropia continue well into the future. It's 20 years old. Going on 21. The twin event's going to end soon, sometime soon. I'm actually really sad that I didn't pick up tokens while I was on frickin' Toulon, because I was doing those caves. Where are my twin tokens? Yeah, I've only got 243 of them. Plenty of Mayhem tokens, though. Global! 17 ped, 16 ped. So yeah. I hope that Mindarch continues to go. I'm hoping that this is them raising funds for the UE5 migration. Because that is what I honestly think it is. And I hope that those who do decide to put their pet into it get their money's worth. And I think ultimately you do. It takes time. You know, a 5% return on investment still takes 20 years for you to, you know, make enough to be equal to your principal. But there's nothing wrong with that. Because you can always sell the underlying, I'm going to call it an asset for the sake of ease, but the underlying share or deed. So, other than that, that was really what I wanted to talk about. Is I discovered that yesterday, just before doing the video I did, and I didn't want to I didn't want to include it in that video because that was very specific to Entropia. And I thought that that warranted its own video, a deeper discussion on the matter. But I did want to talk about it because I have noticed that MindArc is what global. Holy crap! Thank you, MindArc. Another 16 ped. They're starting to roll out things like more types of shares. They're making the Entropia marketplace much wider. From the first experimental Crystal Palace shares till now we're going on number 5. And I think they've been rolling them out like one a year? When did Crystal Palace go public? No, I think it's up to 2. Because Crystal Palace went up. Ancient Greece went up not too long after that. And then last year they did both Treasure Island and they revamped Calypso Land Deeds into shares. Now, I don't know if they're going to do the same with Arcadia Deeds. I'm hoping they don't, or if they do, I'm hoping... I don't know how they compensated the deed holders on the CLDs. If anyone had Calypso Land Deeds, would you please drop a comment and let me know, did you get like an equivalent number of shares for your land deeds? Because I don't remember how that was rolled out. And it's been a while. So if someone could please reveal that to me, that would be, or remind me of how that worked, that would be awesome. Good gravy, look at all this stuff. Just random bits of small. So we're gonna go turn these in, and then I'll end the video. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what MindArc does next. My hope is that any of the like the beach resort in Corinth, I can't remember what it's called right now. They have a bunch of beach houses, and I know some of them are not owned currently. My hope is at some point that they start selling those. I would love to have one of those. Now the price on it's probably going to be cost prohibitive for me, but that's okay. At least I'll be able to imagine for a moment. Now the benefit to this one is all you have to do is click on it and it completes all of them for you. And then it's 21 hours from the time of completion that you can do it again. It does not reset with server reset. And now I'm up to 94. Merge to stack. All right. That's all I've got for you today, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Oh, one last thing. I am not going to try to stretch these videos out to a half hour every time anymore. The video length's the video length. So with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I really appreciate the support, and we will see you in the next one.